Thank you. I just wanted to follow up on some of what Representative Wheatley's comments were, and your analogy I thought was well stated. And I wanted to, I guess, you talked about the confidence in the markets. I think what we have is we want to make sure that there's confidence with the taxpayers, that they have confidence that the decisions that are being made to spend their money are the right ones. And I think that's where we have right now a little difference of opinion. This General Assembly passed a gas tax. You know, it's not like, you know, all Republicans are against, you know, raising taxes, right? But there was a sense out there, at least from my ability to communicate to my constituents, and certainly outside parties had made it pretty clear that Governor Corbett cut, right? There was a sense that there were cuts being made, and bridges needed to be repaired, and roads needed to be repaired. But when Governor Wolf was elected, he proposed, you know, an $8 billion tax increase to fill a hole that was maybe $1.4 billion. So that confidence kind of went away. It's like, oh my gosh, there's a spending machine that's coming down the road. So then it becomes our job to make sure that things are being done correctly. And I would like to make the analogy that perhaps down the road, the bridges and the roads are what you just referred to a little earlier, that we're going to be spending some money over here with higher interest rates. I think that's a valid point, but we want to make sure, I want to make sure for my constituents that we're spending money wisely and we're not just asking them to fork over $8 billion to fill a hole that is a lot less than that. Does that make sense to you? Do you understand where I'm going with the confidence for the taxpayer?
Yeah, I think this falls into an often overused word I try to struggle away from, which is like financial literacy, right? There are roughly 11, 12 million citizens in Pennsylvania. The level of financial acumen, the level of financial security, and is so varied, is very varied, and when you get into complex matters like this, extremely complex, very important matters, very important, extremely complex. We just came through the Second Depression, okay? Great Depression in 2008, okay? It was huge. There is a collective consciousness in Pennsylvania on an individualized basis of people who had to go through a lot to get to where they need to be, to get their mortgage, to get their house in order, okay? And so it causes fear, it causes trepidation. I think what we have to do, but I'm also a private equity guy. I've built my own business from scratch. I had to do it with my own money. If I didn't make a return, I couldn't pay for college, and I did it for 23 years. And I had to be bold too. So I'm not just saying fear. I'm saying we have to be bold. I'm not saying whatever the number is. I'm saying that we must, as a body, be bold, because you have to realize that almost everything that is the final financial markets today, not quite, was created after the First Depression, because you had to be bold. You couldn't go back to the horse and buggy, right? So we got to automobiles, we got to transistor radios, we got to landing on the moon. So we also have to make sure that we also don't shrink. Do not shrink, let's be bold. So that's my opinion on that matter.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you.